And welcome back, rugby fans, to Rugby411. As always, I'm your host. My name is Joshua Shibata, and this is our Week 11 of the 2025 MLR season preview. Week 2 of our Storm Week session and series. So definitely, again, going to be a little interesting. And if you're part of my Super Bowl Pick'em pool, don't forget we do have games on Wednesday. We have a game on Wednesday, so make sure you get all your picks in appropriately. Also, too, that Wednesday game is going to be interesting to see how teams that are playing on Saturday and Sunday react to their roster for that Wednesday game. So, we have a very exciting day of rugby, especially on Saturday. Sunday's pretty good too, but we got some really exciting games here on Saturday. Again, don't forget you can watch all these games live or on demand on ESPN Plus, which costs a little bit of money, but man, it is a great service. You get, of course, all sorts of other stuff with the ESPN Plus. And then if you don't want to pay, or if you are an international fan, you can watch everything live or on demand on the Rugby Network. You can watch stuff on demand on the Rugby Network if you're in the United States, but you gotta wait 72 hours after play. On ESPN Plus, it's literally right after the game that they put it up. It's honestly has been a great service. No disrespect to the Rugby Network, love the Rugby Network, but ESPN Plus is really done right by Major League Rugby. So, let's start with Saturday, April 26th, full day of slate. Like I mentioned, 3 p.m. we start off. It's the big one, the Cali Cup at the Wallace Annenberg Stadium. RCLA hosts their southern rival, San Diego Legion. It is actually going to be the first half of a doubleheader. The other half is going to be a test match between USA women's team versus the Japan women's team. It is the USA women's warm-up match before they start the Pacific 4 Series tournament, as well as the first match set up right before the Rugby World Cup for the women's here later on this year in England. So if you're in the LA area, get your tickets now. I know they're almost sold out. We had to put in a couple bleachers to expand the seating capacity. That's how in demand these tickets are. A ticket will get you into both games. So you'll have a full day of rugby. It starts at 3. It'll end by 7. You have literally the rest of the night to do whatever you want. It is a great deal. 2 amazing games for a very reasonable price and an exciting game of rugby. Only thing that we might have to worry about, a little bit of rain maybe, which is very rare for us Southern Californians, but a little rain, not going to hurt anybody too much, hopefully. And of course, I'll be there, so definitely check out the Cali Cup. Let's talk about this match. So this match in this rivalry, unfortunately for RCLA, is dominated by San Diego 3-0. But San Diego, man, there's something going on in San Diego. Start off the season hot, the hottest team, last team to go undefeated, 5-0, and they have dropped 4 straight. RCLA, off of a 4-game winning streak, ended up dropping the last 2, including just playing on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they had a 4-game turnaround where they have to play this game against San Diego. If you watched the New England game, and I mentioned before in my power ranking video, wasn't a full squad per se. Quite a few of the players, Ben Houston, Billy Meeks, a couple of the other, Andrew Coe, did not take the trip to New England, purposely to rest them in preparation for this game for San Diego. That was the strategy for RCLA. It's going to be interesting to see what the strategy is for San Diego, because San Diego, on Wednesday, 4 days later, they have to play against Utah at Utah. So it's a 2-game road trip for San Diego. San Diego's schedule, unfortunately, gets pretty brutal in the second half, and man, I don't know what's gone on with San Diego, but they are struggling, and it's totally not the right time to be struggling for them. And also, too, the Western Conference is tight. RCLA is just 1 point. I'm sorry, is 2 points behind San Diego. So a win here can allow RCLA to jump San Diego. Utah is technically 6 points ahead of San Diego in the second place, but they have a game in hand. So, I mean, anything can happen these next couple games to completely change the way that the standings are. Houston is just a couple points behind Utah, though Utah, again, has a game in hand over all 3 of the other teams. But, and Seattle is just a point behind from RCLA. So this is an important game for everybody involved. These next couple weeks are very, very important for the Western Conference because it is very, very tight. So, that being said, I really feel RCLA can win this game. All the games that RCLA has played against San Diego have been pretty close. Of course, RCLA unfortunately dropped their game against San Diego earlier this season after being ahead in the first half. RCLA does have that tendency to lose momentum in the second half, but I'm thinking with a hot crowd, San Diego kind of trying to figure out what's going on, and also too, I don't know if they're going to put all their people in this game and save, or maybe save them for the Utah game. I don't know which game they're going to value more, but it'll be interesting to see what the lineup is for San Diego. I know RCLA will have guns blazing in this game, so I feel RCLA has this one and will finally bring the Cali Cup to LA. Then 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have Old Glory taking on Houston SaberCats in SaberCats Stadium. Old Glory is on a 2-game losing streak. Houston has been okay. I mean, they start off pretty hot, and now they've been struggling a little bit. In this rivalry, Old Glory has 2 wins. Houston has 3. Interestingly enough, both of Old Glory wins have been away at Houston. I feel, though, Houston has a little bit more momentum. Old Glory looked pretty good against Miami. But I think Houston is going to be the stronger team with the home pitch advantage, so I feel Houston gets the win here. And then at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a big one. The top team in the Eastern Conference and the top team in the Western Conference facing off against each other. Chicago against Utah. Utah has been hot. They've been looking great so far. They've been looking like the team to beat, and Chicago hasn't been too bad. The loss to Seattle was a little surprising, but it could be that they were saving some players and getting ready for this game against Utah. And I don't know what Utah will be doing for their preparation because right after this, 4 games later, they have to take on San Diego. Granted, both of those games will be at home in Zion Stadium, so Utah doesn't have to worry about travel. But it'll be interesting to see who they'll have ready for Chicago and who they'll have saved for San Diego. In this rivalry, Utah is up 3-1 for Chicago. Chicago, though, is hot on a 6-game win streak. So, you have a team that has been really, really dominant, and you have a team that is starting to find their form. From what I've been seeing from Utah, and maybe I've been paying attention a little bit more to the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference, but man, Utah just looks undeniable so far. And because it's in Zion Stadium, I feel Utah has that home pitch advantage, and I think they'll end Chicago's win streak. And let's continue on with the rest of the games on this week's slate. Sunday, April 27th, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff. Seattle Seawolves go over to the NOLA Gold Mine in New Orleans to take on the NOLA Gold. This will be an interesting game. Seattle trying to prove that maybe they're starting to find their form. NOLA has been struggling quite a bit this season. Seattle has the advantage in this rivalry, 5-3. Really not much more to say about this game. I think NOLA is probably worse for wear than Seattle is. So Seattle maybe can prove that they're kind of finding their form and making their way back up like we know that Seattle has that opportunity to do. And then 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a very odd kickoff time because 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in Miami is 9 o'clock local time. So very late rugby, but if the fans are wanting to do it, 9 o'clock rugby, so be it. Anthem, Carolina, going over to Miami at the Florida Blue training facility. I've mentioned this many, many times. I predicted that Anthem will win a game this season. I originally said 2, then 4. Now I'm kind of going back to 2. I believe if there's a chance for Miami for Anthem to win a game, this is going to be it. I think Anthem can win this. I hope that Anthem has all their players ready to go. Miami is not necessarily looking like the Miami of last season. They did win just recently, but I think Anthem has a good chance of winning this game. If they don't, I mean, anything can happen in the last couple weeks of the season, but I just can't imagine the Anthem goes unwinning in 2 seasons straight. That's really going to be something that we'll have to talk about and examine, because that says a lot about the state of USA Rugby. But I think that they can win this game. Let's go, Anthem! Let's get a win here, okay? And then the very interesting game, because of Storm Week, Wednesday, April 30th, we have an extra game. It is a rematch. Literally, 11 days later, we have a rematch from week number 10. San Diego and Utah. This time, San Diego going over to Utah to face against the Utah Warriors. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff. This is going to be an interesting game because San Diego, man, as I've been mentioning, starting off hot, 5-0, are now down 4 games in a row. Could be 5. Depending on what they do on Saturday in the Cali Cup against RFCLA. Utah's been looking hot. Utah doesn't have to travel, even though it's only 4 games after they played their game, hosting against Chicago, which will be a very physical game. Both of those games will be physical. Chicago, Utah will be a very physical game. LA, San Diego will be a very physical game. Utah doesn't have to travel, though. San Diego does. Utah's been looking really, really hot. San Diego has been limping. Man, I don't know. They just played against each other. Utah dominated San Diego, and San Diego 31-18. And San Diego really looked like they had no clue what to do with Utah. I just don't feel very confident in San Diego. I don't know what happened. It'll be very interesting to see if San Diego ends up being the team out of the Western Conference playoffs and Seattle slides in. But man, I can't feel confident in San Diego. I don't know. I mean, even if San Diego beats RFCLA, I just don't think they'll have enough, because that game is going to be so physical and demanding to then take on the Utah Warriors, unless Utah gets completely blown out by Chicago. Again, it'll be very interesting. This game is going to be really, really fun to watch and interesting to see how it plays out. So those are our week's preview for Storm Week number 2, week number 11. Again, don't forget your Super Bowl Pick'em pool. We got that extra game Wednesday. Lots of things can happen to affect this game. So don't think just because you have your picks in that you can't change them. You can, as long as it's done before the kickoff of the game. But it's going to be some exciting games again in week number 11. So as always, thank you very much for checking out my video, and I'll see you on the pitch.